Welcome back. So you are serious about writing and publishing your book. I'm so excited for you because that's exactly what the type of commitment it will take from you to get your dream. Today what I want to cover with you are some of the common mistakes you don't want to make. These are the mistakes people make, and I know I have made all of them in writing and publishing my book. And if you don't make these mistakes, your chances are much higher that you'll actually write and publish your book and have success with it. Because I've published over 8 books so far for myself, including other people, and I've helped them in the process, and I've learned some of the things that I'm going to teach you today. So here are some of the key things you want to make sure you don't do. So what are some of those things? The first thing is not have a clear idea why you are writing the book. Now what do I mean by that? Well, some people say, hey, I just want to write a book. Well, but why? What are some of the reasons that you have for writing a book? Now you could have a number of different reasons, and all those reasons are perfectly fine for me. I'm not here to judge you or tell you what reason you should have, but at least be clear on what the purpose is. Because if you want to write and publish a book to get a lot of success in your arena, be an expert, make sure it fits your target market. Because if it's not fitting your target market, your book will not be useful for your business. Another reason you could have is, hey, leave a legacy. I have a great story to tell. I want people to know more about what I have done, what lessons I have learned in the process. Well, guess what? That's good reason. Another might be you just want to see your name in print. Great, nothing wrong with it. All of those are good reasons, but make sure you know why you are writing the book. The second mistake people make is they underestimate the time and the money involved. What do I mean by that? Well, I know I have met with so many people who come to me who say, Minesh, I want to write a book. I say, what's your rough budget? I don't have any. I said, do you mean you don't have any means any money is fine, or you are saying you have no money? Which one is it? Do you know what the response normally is? I'm sure you know it is no money. It's like, how can you expect to complete a project like writing a book and not have any money? You have to have some money somewhere in order to publish your book. Nobody's going to publish it for free unless you're one of those people who has great connections or has an idea which is like a burning idea, and people are seeking you out, your authority, in order to get your information out to the masses. Because you could be a best-selling author just because somebody knows about you, or you have a connection that creates value in their mind about what your idea is, and they want to take that to the people. But for most of us, if you and I want to write a book, we need to have some money somewhere. It is going to take us some time. I know whenever I thought it could be done in 10 days, it takes me 30 days. Whatever I think usually will take a month will end up taking 3 months. Has that ever happened to you, where you thought you could get it done overnight and it doesn't really happen that way? Now sometimes some things can be done quickly, and I'm not against it. In fact, I can help people write a complete rough draft in one weekend. But again, it takes a dedicated time, and there is some research done before you actually do it. So ask yourself, do you have some idea on what your time commitment availability is and money? And now you will say, Minesh, how much money is it required? Well, we'll go into that later, but the question you should ask yourself is, do I have enough committed time and money to invest in this project? The next part, which I think a mistake which I see quite a few people make, is they think, oh, all I have to do is write the book and people will flock to buy the book. I think they must have seen the movie where Kevin Costner builds a field. If you build it, they will come. Well, may happen in a movie, you know what I'm saying, but not here. It's not likely to happen. Just because you have a book doesn't mean people are going to buy the book automatically. What you have to do is plan the whole process. Make sure you have a plan to write the book, plan to publish the book, and a plan to promote the book. Because if you don't have those 3 things in place, you will assume you know what you're doing, but that's not enough. Okay? You will fall flat. You'll say, I have the book, and I meet so many people who have books, but nobody buys it. It's not being used to promote. And I can tell you the story of my book, Stop Hiring Losers. One of the reasons I got that book published so quickly is because I needed to have that book be shown at a conference to get some more clients. And today, I use that both in ebook as well as printed format to get the type of clients in a certain business that I'm in. So again, ask yourself, do I have enough time and money aside to invest in a project? Let's go further. What are some of the other mistakes people make? One of the mistakes that is so common is people go the cheap route. Have you ever seen a cheap cover? It looks terrible. It looks just like unprofessional people would do, an amateur. In fact, I remember one of my friends, actually a client, he came to me for coaching, and afterwards, unfortunately, he had already invested money and time in a book project already. So by the time I met him, he already had most of the things already done. So I couldn't really give him that much input on the new stuff that he wanted to do. He was excited, and I guess for lack of a better word, he just thought he could get it done flat price, no question, those people did it. When he showed me the copy, now he was proud, let me tell you, he was proud that he had a book published, he liked everything in the book, he was so connected with it and everything else. But I looked at the cover and I'm like, oh, that cover doesn't seem professional. Now mind you, this guy had grossed $2 million a year in his practice the last couple of years, which means he was successful. And the type of people he wanted to attract were not going to be impressed by a cover that looks like that. I gave him a couple of quick pointers on that, but it was too late. The book was already published. In fact, he came back to me later and said, Minesh, there is another company who looked at my book and says, hey, we can do a lot better job of packaging it, and we'll only charge you $20,000. Well, I don't know if he did go that route or not, but you can imagine, you can have any scale in terms of how much you want to invest in making the book look professional. People judge the book by its cover. That's just a fact. I know we should not, but that's how it is. When you go to a bookstore, what happens? You look at these different books, you pick up one, and if the cover is not enticing enough, what happens? You put it back. If the cover is engaging, you will flip a few pages, you might look at the back cover. In fact, let me ask you, when you go to a bookstore, what books impress you? Aren't they the most well-written professional books, or are they just lying like a junk? No, not at all. So the next part that I want to communicate with you is a title. Most people will have a very bland title. Now, there are so many good books with great titles. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, very popular, well-engaging title. Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends and Influence People. These are classics. These books have been around for a long time. They're going to be around for a long time because they have great material, but also their topic makes sense. The title that they are telling other people what the book is about immediately says, I want that. And that's why you should ask yourself, is the title engaging enough? In fact, there are so many books who were written with one title, didn't sell. And the person who was consulting came back and changed the title and made the cover a little bit different, packaging and stuff. And guess what? The book became more successful. So again, let me ask you, are you concerned about the sellability of the product? If you are, is the title attractive? Because if the title is not attractive, you will not get the bite that you're looking for. So let's talk about a few other things that people have made mistakes, including myself. One of the mistakes that I see a lot of people have is they don't have a marketing plan which includes press release writing, connecting with a certain media, connecting with certain authorities, etc. And I want to teach all of that to you because I know you can shortcut your journey so quickly. It's like a rapid course on some of the things that I did wrong, and now you can learn how to do the right way, because otherwise you'll try to figure everything out. In fact, I was sitting down with somebody who wants to write a book yesterday, and she was like, Minesh, you can give me information, but I also need accountability. What does that mean? That means very simple. You want to have somebody helping you stay focused. Things will get in the way. I mean, I was talking to somebody, became pregnant, had a baby. There are a lot of things happening in life. So if those things are happening and distracting you, do have a structure to support yourself on how you can stay focused, committed, and consistent to get where you want to go, which means completing the book. Now, here are some other things you might encounter in the process that I think are more logically going to be happening anyway. Okay? One thing is you might find yourself saying, okay, how do I start from scratch to finish it? What kind of order, what kind of format should I write it in? Well, if that's one of the situations you are running into, what you should learn is how to organize into a format, a chapter, number of chapters, topics, parts, and those make logical sequence, so the writing of the book becomes so easy. And that's one of the reasons some of these books which are out there, they flow. There is a process. There is a thinking behind the organization, and I want to teach you exactly how to organize it, because if you did the right way, it won't take you long. Like I said, you could actually write the main format of the book in a weekend if you dedicated time to it. Now again, I know you may not have that time or you may not have that structure, but organize the book which is easy for people to read. One of the things which I see a lot of people make mistake are, they write for themselves instead of writing for the target market. So your language, your examples, make sure they are appealing to the people who are going to read it, because if they're not going to get interested in it, they won't be interested in buying it or keeping it, giving it to other people. Now there are a lot of other things I could teach you about mistakes that I have made in writing and publishing a book, but I think this will be a great place for you to start. I want to really engage you, help you on this journey so that you learn what are some of the things that you need to do consistently enough so you can have your dream a reality. You can have your dream on the cover of a best-selling book. Imagine if everybody knew you. Maybe you will be one of those people whose book becomes like the Oprah bestseller, right? I know Oprah doesn't have the regular program anymore, but at one time, if you went on her show, you would sell 1 million copies or something to that effect. Well, if she likes your book. Well, the same thing, there are a lot of other experts out there. If they really like your book, if you have really done a good job of promoting it, they can promote it to their audience, which will multiply tremendously. And I know once you complete the project, I'll see your interview on TV, hear you about radio, mentioned in New York Times bestseller, because I believe in you and you need to take the step forward. Thanks for watching.